Pass up.
You did?
Right on here. On here.
I'll be here.
Hey, you're going this week too, so.
Hey, I'm going this week too.
Here, I thought he was taking a cruise, so I was worried about him catching that virus.
I ain't getting on no big boat. You can't spell that
He's
out.
in the army, not the Navy.
I'm gonna take a little boat.
Fishing.
And you think
But then I found out while we're going this time of year, red snapper season comes in on the 22nd for Florida.
Okay.
So that's, we're gonna go to, leave here Wednesday morning, go drive to Georgia and stay overnight, get the boat ready, stuff like that, stay overnight in Georgia and then pull the boat down to Florida. And I said, we're gonna be fishing all night. I said, what? He said, well, the season comes in at midnight. I said, well, okay, we can wait till in the morning.
And you're leaving at 11? So you get there just about time to start fishing then, wouldn't you?
Well, see, there's something about 8 hour drive from here to Florida.
Is that what it is?
Here in Georgia,
That's-
Georgia.
Georgia.
Yeah, so
More like a 9-hour drive. Atlanta.
I don't know where the heck we're going. I'm just a bride. Done my stuff, bring 2 coolers for fish on the way back. That's what they told me to do.
How's Audrey doing? Miss her out in County.
Yeah. Good to have her home.
Oh, yeah, yeah, I'm sure.
We've had a busy weekend. We had baseball all day Saturday, and she planned a baby shower for someone at church yesterday. Was there all day. But kids are out of school later this week, Wednesday, Thursday. So summer's starting.
Scary. I mean, winter's not that far behind.
Or that far away, really.
No, well, it's gonna be 60 again by the weekend.
Is it wrong?
Yes, 91 today and 60 by the end. Must be Ohio.
Yeah, exactly.
It's bipolar.
I love this.
It's been really bad this year.
Well, we were sitting on the porch last night. It was a beautiful evening. And I said, man, I love this time of year. I love May. And probably the unpredictability of it because, you know, yesterday was a beautiful day. If you have a day like that in June, it's just a normal day. But in May, you're like, wow, this is nice.
Yeah.
And then this coming weekend, like you said, it's going to be
Well, this morning it's warm. You know, you walk outside and it was actually warm. It wasn't, yeah.
nice.
The Feast of the Fireman.
Charlie coming in?
No,
No.
he had a conference call.
Yeah,
So I'm just standing in. Yeah, so. He told me to ask for a couple bridges and a couple, I don't know what all he had.
That's why he didn't come.
I forgot next week's Memorial Day. Thanks for saying that. Right,
Tuesday.
Huh?
I said, I forgot next week's Memorial Day. I got
Yeah, you guys will see my beautiful face like every Monday because my job is just Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
next week.
Unless it's a holiday. Because you know you're in my book, right? All of you.
Oh.
I don't know. But Udi, why don't you tell the truth? Like, you know when I say something just like the sheriff said. I don't know why people don't believe you, Hardy.
I didn't say I didn't believe you, Heidi. I didn't say anything like that. I just took a deep sigh. That was all.
Why?
Yeah, I'm just in that mood today.
You should be up there like, oh, I'm glad she loves me.
Yeah, I did too.
Oh, you didn't tell your other colleagues that you've known me for 40 years?
Do what?
You didn't tell your other colleagues that you've known me for 40 years?
For how long?
40?
Probably. Something like that.
You always looking cute, Kathy.
Thanks,
You
babe.
are, you always looking cute. I want to see what Pinkerton looks like in the city up close.
I have one too.
Well, you better get some more.
I have more. I'm just teasing.
I know, I bet you did.
That's actually how he usually dresses. He's at home, he wears a suit probably, and then when he goes out campaigning, he's got to dress down. Dress down.
All right, at 9 o'clock, we'll call the May 18th Crawford County Commissioners meeting to order with the pledge. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of the last meeting.
Second.
All in favor, say aye. Mr. Knowles, you have some business with us here?
Yes, on behalf of the county engineer, would like a resolution for the striping on the roadways using the thermoplastic
Okay.
striping.
What we approved last week.
Correct, yeah, that's just
Give us to Kathy and she'll put a resolution together and we'll get that to you.
great, appreciate it.
Thanks so much for being here.
Yes, thank you.
Appreciate you.
All right, bills for the week were $6,265,422.48. Before you all get excited, $6,029,718 was ACGP grant money. So moved.
Yeah,
Second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Yeah, we gotta learn to accept that now that the projects are getting construction phase. We're gonna have big bills for the week, but it's grant money, so we don't have to.
That's a good thing.
That is a good thing.
Construction is on schedule because this money needs to be spent by October.
Then the now analysis, $7,308.24.
So moved.
Go ahead and pay that truck.
Yeah, so moved.
That's the Jessica Smith thing.
Yeah. Beyond Bay 6 Detailing LLC.
I didn't catch that one. I asked questions about every other line item here.
Beyond Bay 6 Detailing LLC. And it's for detailing. I don't know what detailing.
Do you know what that
Probably
is?
somebody's
That-
vehicle.
That's out of, under the company.
Bottom down there.
No, but I can look it up.
If you could, please.
What's Department 52? Is that the Department of Education?
No.
That's just one that I didn't see before.
Yeah, I've never heard of that before.
Right on there. Transfer of funds, this is from the, just sort of Fourth District Appeal Courts. General fund into other expenses and Fourth District Appeals Court in the sum of $21,472.96. This is transfer, it's not from the general. it's
Okay.
from these into
So
capital.
moved. Well, it says funds from the general. That's what threw me off.
Probably they're, well, it's coming out of other expenses.
Yes. Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
It appears to me that, that's Veterans Affairs Commission.
It's not the veterans.
Off from the veterans. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll second on that.
Beyond the
No, then and now, yeah. Then and now.
Car cleaning.
Second?
Yes.
Yeah.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thanks, Kathy.
Transfer of funds from the EMA department from salaries to contract services. This is additional appropriations for upcoming mitigation expenses, $2,556.10.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye. Appropriation of funds for coroner, out-of-town autopsies, these are additional $5,632.48.
So moved.
Second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
That's a pretty hard number to estimate the budget.
Yeah.
Board of Elections, general fund money for travel and other expenses for a total of $11,000. We said that we would table this and find out what other expenses we need.
Well, and I think as a matter of practice, it's probably better to consider transfers
Right.
within their line items rather than a new appropriation, so they should explore that route rather than a new
So we'll
appropriation.
go back to them and tell them to transfer from other first, what they really want from general fund, explain what that other expense is. Request for appropriation of funds from tax certificate account into postage and fees of $1,892 to handle the recent reporting fees.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
We have a voucher here for the election workers for $30,045.20, and this is in their budget.
So moved.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Disposal form from the Commissioner's office. We have one file cabinet, one shelf, each made of wood, and we do not need, so we probably let other people grab it and go with it.
So,
Where's it from, sorry?
This is from our office.
Oh, sure.
It might look so neat in there, David.
Yeah, it does.
Is that a second?
Yes.
That's
They
it.
would say aye.
It threw me off too, and I'm thinking, I'm standing there and I'm thinking, there was something sitting in this corner right here. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is.
We just stand from afar and marvel your filing system. Now we have a action summary for the ACGP grant. They have encountered numerous overages and construction costs as we've been going through some of the projects. So they went to the Department of Development and asked for more funding from the original $154 million. And the overruns have been for the Grant Visitor Center, Frankfurt Streetscape, Black Horse Inn, and Jackson Streetscape. So the new total is $154,890,958, and they awarded that grant. Just signature of receipt.
So moved.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Next is from the Department of Public Safety for the 23 Task Force Major Crimes. This is for the funds that we requested. And it's been the award agreement here that we're signing. We went over this last week.
So,
All in favor, say aye. $78,365.16. Application for use of the courthouse steps. This is for June. Or no, I'm sorry, this is for October 30th at 8 a.m. This is for
Joke for
May.
the American.
Hmm?
Joke for the American. So moved.
All in favor, say aye. Aye.
And Sandy Mary, we get that thing in right quick. She makes sure she doesn't leave out anything.
That's a good idea. Next, we have a service order agreement with Spectrum, and this is for the internet, dedicated fiber, 500 MB, whatever that terminology is, megabytes, I guess. Andy's not here, so we can make it up. So it's $675 a month for 36 months.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Everything else we got going on today in other parts of the session, so. Brad, you got anything?
I do.
All ready for it?
Field report on the service center.
Coming along.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
And he had to get ugly with them last week. They shut the water off again, didn't tell anybody.
Yeah.
I was getting calls. There's a payout. Go on, please.
This is our installment for the Florida water project. $182,066.45. Or no, this is for the service.
That's for the service center.
So,
Second.
Current pay due. Yeah.
Second. All in favor, say aye.
aye.
Almost like a town.
Got an email this morning from the dog warden saying this is the vehicle they're gonna be requesting.
Didn't they just request another vehicle last year, 2 vehicles?
I thought you bought one for
One
me.
last year. That was a pickup truck.
That was a Dodge.
That was new tires.
Oh, that had 21,000 miles on, they put new tires on it.
This is 2018.
I think she just pulled that off. I don't know. That's all I got was the picture saying, hey, this is what we're thinking about for a new vehicle. I think they want to go away from the pickup truck idea, because when they put those dogs in the back of the pickup truck
It's
in the
hot.
winter, and when it's raining, you know, it makes more sense probably to have something like
It's
that.
easier on gas.
A lot easier.
And I like that she's looking thrifty here. This
Yep.
isn't a thrills vehicle. I don't know where we are within the budget and if this is something they're trying to do now.
I think they're just planning this for the future.
Yeah, I like that.
Me too.
Yeah.
That's what we did.
I sent this to you, Jack, this morning. This is that cost that you'd asked for. And I sent it to Ben too, and to Jeremy. You guys can do with that what you want, but it's about half the price of that other.
Yeah. So that's great. But they didn't make the submission window of the bid.
No, I don't think they ever saw it.
So there's nothing we can do.
Okay,
They pretty much stuck with Servpro.
okay. I didn't know. It sounded like from Ben there was something, but if there's not, then there's not. But
Well, if Ben says there might be, then
I sent it to him this morning again, because I just got it today.
do you have that email or something back in Ben, or do you need that in a phone call?
This morning,
If there might be a way.
when we talked about it, and that's why he said, go ahead and get it. He
Yeah.
said, you know, there may be a way to do something. I know Jeremy's worried about his state inspection and getting it done before that, but I don't know. Save you a lot of money.
Thank you.
Do it. Yeah. Hey, yeah.
Time sheet for Brad. Has he worked on it? He's been in here.
That was just one vacation for a week.
Signed it.
So can't get a break in
So
All in favor, say aye.
Yeah, I guess we have to pay.
Thank you, sir. That's all I've got now.
So you just want this, Board of Elections
Yeah.
resolution back, just stick it in there.
You want it now? Or the little stack?
Okay, we got Devin coming in at 9:30.
On the move that we go ahead and recess. And then we'll move into executive session and come out of recess for our 9:30 meeting. Back on.
Okay. Got a second on recess?
Yes.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. We are recessed till 9:30. We have public hearing.
Let me ask you a question. That's not a fun thing to happen.
Hey, there's my man. How you doing, Dale?
I'm good. How about you,
Good
sir?
to see you.
How we doing, sir?
Pretty good, very good. I'm limping a little bit because I got a knee replacement coming.
Uh-oh.
I got two of those.
Yeah.
I'll be so grateful when that thing.
I know, I will be. Nice to see you. How you
I've
been?
been real good.
Good.
Hi, good morning.
Dale Hart, nice to meet you. I've got some papers.
We're gonna wait till,
Everybody knows
Dale, we're gonna wait till 10. in case
That's
the
fine.
Press comes.
That's fine.
It's time for me to stand up in. I just, like, steps in.
You've just been sitting at ball games all weekend. What are you whining about? I've been digging fence poles all weekend.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Really?
That auger, man.
I think I beat you to death, though.
It does.
Yeah.
Oh, he's using all of it.
Oh,
okay. I'll post all the.
Oh, yeah. Well, you gotta clean it up.
Oh, okay, okay.
No, I didn't use postal. Well, I did, but not the main part.
Thank you, sir.
Good exercise. Yeah. It's fun to watch.
So what's this nasty rumor I hear about you?
Oh, there's plenty of that.
That you're not gonna run again?
No. Got my successor sitting.
I met him back, he
Okay.
told me.
Yep. Well, unless something happens, I'm not looking at.
You've done a good career
Well, I appreciate you saying that.
as mayor and here too, and I've enjoyed immensely working with
Well, I
you.
enjoyed working with you, Jeff. I appreciate you saying that.
I hate to see you go, but
Well,
I understand life too.
you never know where I turn up.
Well, if I can be of help to you in the future, let me know.
Okay, I appreciate that. How long ago did you get that knee replaced?
It's next week.
Oh, it's next week?
Yeah, May
Oh, so
27th.
you're going in?
I'm going in.
I thought you were coming out. I
No,
thought-
no,
yeah.
I'm going in.
Well, I'll tell you what, you're gonna ask yourself, why you didn't do it a long time ago? That's what I asked myself.
That's what I hear.
Yeah. Where who's doing it?
It'll be in Mount Vernon, Ohio, which is close to my home.
Okay.
Dr. Cush, and he's got a good reputation. So,
He used to be down here too, Dr. Fish.
Did he? Okay.
Yeah, back in the early 2000s, he's a very, very good doctor. He worked with Dr. Ioni and them out there.
yeah, they tell me that I'll be, wonder why I didn't do it sooner.
Yeah. I had Andrew Glassman in Wexner do mine, both of them.
Is that right?
And he does all the Ohio State football players when they blow an ACL or whatever, so I'm still waiting for a call from Ohio State to come play, but.
Well, just go on over, volunteer, they'll be
Yeah.
ready for you.
No, but I feel great, no knee pain at all.
Good.
And I suffered for years with it. It's
Yeah,
like
I have.
you're gipping a little bit, so you're feeling it. Next week, huh?
27th.
27th. Well, I'm praying for you.
Well, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Appreciate
These
that.
things are pretty routine now.
That's what I hear.
Yeah, that's good. You're gonna, the next 3 months, you're not gonna quite.
Well, the-
Rehabilitation stuff, but.
The doctor told me, the surgeon told me, he said, the day that it's done, you're gonna hate me.
Mhm.
And he said, 6 months, you'll still hate me.
Well, I don't know about that.
And he said, in a year, you'll hate me still. Well, that's good safety.
Yeah.
thing to tell you that, you know, but
Yeah.
I've had a number of friends who've been through it, and they tell me what you said, you know. Do the exercises and
Follow that routine.
follow the routine.
Yeah, you don't shortchange that because it'll show up the rest of your life.
Yeah,
But I got good movement, good range of motion, no
Good.
pain.
good.
You know, I still hate my therapist, so.
I
But the
understand.
doctor I love.
Yeah, I understand that. Well, it's part of life.
Yeah. If that's all that's wrong, then you're in good shape. You're blessed.
I'm in excellent health beyond that.
Yeah.
You know, I've been to see my heart doctor, my cancer doctor. Both of them say you are in excellent shape.
Mhm.
I've
That's
had
good to
cancer
hear.
for several years,
Yeah.
and so I feel blessed.
Yeah. I've been going to the doctor more this year, well, in 25 into 26, than I have my whole life. I mean, I never went. And all my blood work and stuff was kooky. Now it's all green line, center line. And
That's
I
way with
feel
mine.
really good.
That's the way with mine. Both of those doctors said, you are perfect. It's absolutely what your blood work is. I go to Cleveland Clinic for that.
Okay.
And how are you, young
I'm
lady?
good, how are you, Dale?
I'm good. Good.
Star of the show's here.
Yes. I get busy over there, and I just,
Well, that's good. We just signed a big check for ACGP this morning.
oh, okay, good.
Yeah, we like seeing that money go to work in our community.
That's what I'm working on, is Kim's CGP invoices and materials.
And the check, too.
Mm-hmm.
About 3 more minutes. We have a straggler reporter comes in every once in a while for the Scioto Valley Guardian. That's all I'm gonna say.
Did Scott call you this morning?
He emailed me.
He-
Yes, he did.
Yeah, I'm having a knee replaced next week. Going up your long set of steps wasn't what I wanted to do.
You don't have an elevator.
Well, I figured you did somewhere.
They have a chair there.
I saw.
you write it up?
No, I won't.
Well, you can write it down if you want.
I'm going down some.
It's coming up.
All right, it's 10 o'clock, so we'll call this part of our meeting back to order with the public hearing for the 2026 CHIP grant. And Mr. Dale Hara, glad to be here.
Thank you. It's good to be here with you again. I'm the president of Ohio Regional Development Corporation, and for quite a number of years, we have worked with both the county and the city of Chillicothe applying for and operating the CHIP program. Today is the second public hearing for the Ross County CHIP program, partnering with the city of Chillicothe. And the following information is going to be presented about it. The objective of it is for the Community Housing Impact and Preservation Program to preserve and improve the affordable housing stock for low to moderate income individuals and to strengthen neighborhoods through community collaboration. Ross County is eligible to apply for $750,000, with $400,000 going to the county and $350,000 going to the city. Let me pause right there and explain something that, well, that's how the allocation is broken down, and that allocation, if funded, will come to the county, and the county is administering the program. We don't have to spend $350,000 in the city and $400,000 in the county. We do our best to spend it that way so that there's no friction about that. But if we come down to the last $5,000 or $10,000 and the city or the county, either one, doesn't have an applicant that's suitable, we'll spend all of it on the other program. It is a county grant, but it's allocated on the basis of that, if that makes sense to you. The permitted activities are owner rehabilitation, and the funding sources are CDBG, which is Community Development Block Grant, and $10. The maximum that we can spend on a house is $85,000, and the homeowners have to be at 80% low to moderate income or less. And again, I'll pause right there and go to the very back page of my presentation and tell you that one person living in a household can make up to $47,750. Two people, $54,550, and you can read the rest of them there. So, in order to be eligible for the program, you have to make less than those numbers there in order to be eligible for the CHIP program. The entire unit must be brought up to the residential rehab standards if we do it under owner rehab. That means all the electrical, the plumbing, the heating, the furnace, all of those things, windows, doors, have to be brought up to the state's required standards. There's a 5-year declining mortgage on the house. So 20% of what we put into it declines every year for 5 years. At the end of 5 years, if the tenant is still living, if the owner is still living there, it's completely forgiven. There's nothing accrued to their cost. If they leave after 4 years, that means 80% of it has been forgiven. They would need to pay the last 20% back to the county, which goes into revolving loan fund. We reuse it for someone else. But in most cases, Joanna, we don't have a lot of people that move. Sometimes they'll pass on, but for the most part, people live there for those 5 years. And if they live there those years, there is no mortgage to them, and that's a good thing. Rental rehabilitation is the next program that's available, and it's similar to the owner rehab in that we can spend up to $85,000 on a home. What happens with rental rehab is that the renters living in the home are the ones that make it eligible, not the landlord. The landlords are typically a little more wealthy, may not fit that income bracket. What they're trying to do is increase affordable housing for low to moderate income families. So if the people living there meet the income guidelines, then we can work with them on the basis of that. If we do that, it has to be brought up to the residential rehab standards. But the difference with rental rehab is that the landlord has to put in 50% of the cost. That's not our rule, that's the state's rule. So if we put in $85,000 on that home, $45+ or $40+ $1,000 has to be paid by the landlord. That typically kills that program, but that's the state's guidelines. There's a 5-year decline in mortgage, and it declines 20% a year, and it's only payable upon the sale or if it's no longer occupied by the primary residence during the 5 years. So that's what the rental rehab is. Homeowner repair is a smaller program that we can spend up to $30,000 on that program. And that typically means we'll go in and do 1 or 2 things in the home. Maybe replace a furnace, maybe a hot water tank, electrical system or whatever. But the whole house does not have to be brought up to the state standards, just those items that we do. For $30,000, you're not going to bring a whole house up. You know, rental repair is the same thing. We can spend $30,000, and on page 2 there, you know, again, the owner of the property has to contribute half of the cost on that one. It has a 100% decline in loan over 2 years, so as long as the low moderate income family lives there for 2 years, there's no payback on that. The home ownership down payment assistance program is available also. It's pretty difficult to operate, not on our standpoint, but what happens is this. If a person wants to buy a home, the first thing that, assuming they meet the income guidelines, the first thing, they have to find a home that they want to buy. Second thing is they have to get a loan from the bank for their portion of the debt. The third thing is we can put in up to, let's say, $20,000 for the down payment assistance. All those things having happened, then we have to be sure with the remaining balance of that program for that house, we have to be sure that it's safe, sound, and so on, that it meets the state standards. So if you put $20,000 into the house for down payment assistance, and the total funding for that house is $85,000, that leaves $65,000 to fix it up. That's difficult to do sometimes. So that's a little bit about that. The last one is tenant-based rental assistance, and we can spend $12,000 up to $12,000 to help a person with their rent if they're a renter. Again, they've got to meet the income guidelines, but the housing authority, the local housing authority, has to assure us that they will provide a voucher for the rest of the year or the rest of the 2 years for that rent. So if we put in $12,000, whatever it takes for the rent for the next 2 years, the housing authority has to provide a voucher for the rest of it. They don't always have those vouchers. Sometimes they do. So this is the second public hearing today. So at the second public hearing, we present the proposed guidelines of what we would do. And that is owner rehab for $435,000, projected to do 6 units, and the number of people benefited would be approximately 12 to 18 people. Home repair, $225,000, and we would do a projected number of units 10. Projected number of people benefited is 30. Let me stop there for a minute and tell you that most communities, including us, would like to spend most of the grant on home repair because you can go in and do 2 or 3 things and go on. But the state figured that out, and in their great wisdom, they said you can only do a certain percentage of it as home repair. The $225,000 is the maximum that we could use out of that grant for that. The other thing I would tell you is that we project that we would do 10 units. We lowball that number because we have to meet that number. And so that's a very acceptable number for that amount of money. The reality is, and the truth is, that we typically would do maybe 12 to 14 there. You know, we don't go into a house and say, we have X number of dollars to spend, and where do you want it? doesn't work that way, you know. This is not a paint and carpet removal program. It's for bona fide needs in there. And so we typically will do 12 to 14, 15 houses with a home repair. The last one is administration and fair housing, $90,000. The program on the last page, it will tell you that we have to submit this grant by June the 24th, and by December the 1st, we expect that the state will make their awards. We've always been successful here. We hope to be again, you know. It's all dependent upon the state's amount of funding that they have. So, any questions?
I'm good.
I think the program has done a lot of good, both in the city and the county.
A motion to sign the document, 2026 CHIP grant award.
So moved.
All in favor, say aye.
Thank you for your time today.
Thank you. Coming
And,
down.
you know, it's always a privilege to come. It's like coming home to me. I've been here a long time and enjoyed working with all of you.
Helps the community do a lot of good work too.
I always try. You know, if I can give you a little personal note, this would be okay. But I remember my first time dealing with Mr. Everson. And he said, I've never, he became mayor, and he said, I never heard of CHIP. What's CHIP? You know, he said, I have so many things on my desk. And I said, you know, I've got a deadline that we got to have meetings. I'm sure you remember that. and I kept coming back to see him, and finally he said, okay, let's you know, and he's been an ardent supporter of it ever since. But it's been great to work with all of you.
A lot of these funds show up in the community. Yeah. People fix their houses up.
Yeah.
It really helps the neighborhood.
I appreciate your time today.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, sir.
Helped out? Thanks.
Thank you.
I've been there, buddy. You're coming out.
You know what that's all about, that's it.
Yeah, I do.
Thank you very much,
Be
sir. Thank
ready.
you very much.
I'll see you before the end of the year.
Good to see you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Joanne, I'll send a couple people to you anyway. I got a couple people I'll send it to you.
Oh, okay.
Because they keep been asking me, I said, hey, if you need a bathroom put in, are you just go down and...
That's what I'm telling
Take care.
everyone
You
to
too, Joe.
contact
Nice
me
meeting
in
you.
December
Same here.
to see if we've been
I
awarded.
have-
Yeah, okay, so we'll off to December.
Yeah, December, or if you'll know.
Yeah, we'll know.
You'll know
Yeah.
Jack will first, they
Yeah.
will send everything to you now.
Yeah.
And I get nothing. And they get nothing there.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, so be checking your email, pay attention there.
Okay.
Thank you. Bye.
See you later.
Nice to see you, Joe.
Nice to see you, Daniel.
Public hearing for Dina Hospital Facility with revenue refunding bonds. He's gonna have to explain that. He explained it to me. I can't explain it to you, so he's gonna explain it.
We did this last year, this is
I think this was in 2021 that these were originally issued. And, because I got the whole packet here.
Yeah, but we have another.
Drew? Are you Drew?
No, sir, I'm not. I'm
Oh.
Jeff Kraft.
Oh, okay.
But I'm with Adina, but I'm not.
All right. Yeah, 2021, when we bought the first year. So that'd been your first year, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I haven't seen it before, so. we'll wait to get started until 10:30 when we're scheduled, so just in case the press decides to show up.
Yeah.
Fit and form.
My house is like probably 5 minutes away, but I was
Brian,
Yes, sir.
that closing notice that you sent to us on Corsa, closing notice?
You know what that is, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
I was going to check with the sheriff to see if anybody's been charged out of that.
Yeah, because nothing's ever seemed to come around about it.
Yeah.
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 You're so close, it's cars will go in kind of situation, I'm sure.
You know, I don't know when the original structure was first built. The newest part of it was opened in September of 21. But that's a good question. I don't know.
Hey, Sarah?
Yes.
There's a Shine the Light dumpers program grant coming out by the state. The application deadline is July 31st. It gives maximum awards of $100,000 for cleanup projects and $20,000 for deterrent projects.
Shine a light.
Shine the Light on dumpers program. For the slimy dumpers.
Okay, I'll look at it out. And an email?
I'll send you the email I got from CCAO. It's
Okay.
got, it's the very last one on the state funded programs at the bottom of the document. I haven't read the response to Joe's.
Exactly what I was said there. It's fine with it. And it's an auditor questioning, in my opinion. And he answered it adequately.
Did you mention that you were gonna respond to what business addressed to us?
I said I was going to if he had responded.
Well, he hadn't.
But he did provide context that Brad forwarded it to him, because he was the auditor. So I felt like that was.
Well, we got another one on data center that came in today, see that? We'll probably talk about that in the work session.
Laura. Okay.
All right, I have 11:30. I think we're expecting one more for this, or was,
Yeah, I'm expecting Drew.
She's taken Drew's place.
Oh, okay.
I'm Allie Kimbler, I'm
Oh.
from Dinsmore, I'm a colleague of Drew's.
oh, okay, so you're speaking?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So we'll go ahead and start the discussion on the Adina grants and renewal process here. And I know that Commissioner Lowe was one first-year commissioner last time we went through this, and so this is new to David and I. So the better explanation we can get as far as this, especially it doesn't involve taxpayer money, the happier we're going to be.
Right. Like I said, I'm Allie Kimbler, I'm from Dinsmore. I think you've been in communication with Drew. I'm here with Jeff Kraft today from Adina Health System. We're here regarding the proposed issuance of adjustable rate demand hospital facilities revenue refunding bonds. I know it's a mouthful, but kind of explain what it is. So we're here today because the IRS, the tax code, requires a public hearing for conduit bonds to be issued by a political subdivision, so for example by Ross County here. And it gives the public an opportunity to comment on the proposed issuance of the bonds, if there is anyone here to comment. Typically we do not see anyone, but the opportunity is there and the code requires it. So this resolution would authorize the issuance of tax exempt bonds under Ohio Revised Code Chapter 140, which is for hospital facilities bonds. The maximum principal amount would be not to exceed $26 million, and the proceeds would be used to refinance a taxable loan, which was previously used to refund the 2021 bonds that we were here for back in 2021, which were approved. And then also the bonds would be used to pay costs of issuance associated with these bonds here in 2026. the important part, you brought this up earlier, the bonds are not debt or general obligations of the county or any other political subdivision. By having Ross County serve as the issuer, Adena Health can these bonds can be issued on a tax exempt basis, which allows Adena Health to receive some savings on the cost of the bonds. And so on that basis, Adena Health System is solely responsible for repayment, not the county. The county would just be the conduit issuer. And if you have any questions about the project specifically, Jeff can answer better than I can, I'm sure.
And it's my understanding that these cover 2 buildings, a medical facility in Waverly? Or
It is
Carlisle?
2 buildings. So the Series 2021, which is indirectly refinancing, were issued in 2021 to fund the purchase of the Carlisle building, because we had been leasing that. As well as there was a medical office building on the main campus. It was owned by a real estate investment trust, so we bought that building. It was actually attached to the structure of Adena, so you wouldn't have known that it wasn't owned by Adena, but we bought that from the developer at that time as well. So it was a 5-year balloon note with the only bondholder being KeyBank. And so on May 1st of this year, we paid off those bonds to KeyBank, and we temporarily refinanced them using a taxable line of credit. And now we're coming to the county to ask for this Series 2026 issuance to basically refinance those off of the taxable line of credit onto another 5-year.
I kind of find it ironic that as mayor, I was involved in the original Carlisle building project, and now as commissioner, we're finally buying it and getting away from Mike Chesler. So that's always good news. I know Mike, and I've been through the documentation here. As they said, there's no risk to the county. We aren't on the hook for any of these funds. We're just providing a tax exempt method for you more. So you guys have any questions about signing a resolution to that again, renewing?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Is that easier than you thought?
Yes. I also have with me, if you want, printed out copies of the resolution for you to fill out.
Okay, I think Jack might have that in front of him.
If you want, it's easier. It's the same thing here when I sent, but we signed those pictures, so it makes it easier.
There's no,
If you want to see.
there's, yeah.
Thank you.
There's no place for us to sign here, right? You sign these.
Is there nowhere for the commissioners
You
to
guys
sign?
will sign, or you will sign this certificate on the back, and then, there should be a
I did
page
not see
there.
that. I just see where Commissioner made the motion, the second, and.
Yeah, there's no place to sign, it'll just be you filling out who moved, who seconded,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
And we don't need them back today, we can get them back in the mail later this week, you don't have to worry
You got
about
the
it
motion, you
now.
got the second, we got the ayes, and you signed this.
You know the rest of our stuff, right?
Sure.
All right, thank you so much.
Have a good day.
Good to see you. Mike and a little at, for the public hearing, no, the Mike at 11. Make a motion to go in recess until then. So we don't have 25 minutes of dead air space.
start for 2
You
minutes,
can't start for 2 minutes.
just in case the
The media
media
comes.
comes.
That's right, understood. Yeah, he had a bunch of good ideas.
He's good. Smart guy.
I was glad he was there. I hadn't seen him since we did the ribbon cutting. Although, I hear a lot, just because he and Dell Smith are neighbors.
Yeah.
They know each other real well.
He travels a lot.
Good for him. Yeah, we were talking about construction and stuff
He's the
like
guy
that.
that convinced me to sell my house.
Oh, no kidding.
He's the same guy that supported the soul mine.
Okay.
That's how it worked out.
Huh. Interesting. Well, then he did the crumble thing basically for his wife.
Yeah.
Even she's not even there now.
Yeah.
Because Dell keeps trying to buy it for him.
Oh.
Yeah.
Amy and I invented a machine. I'll tell you about someday.
Oh, really?
Oh, it's pretty wild.
Nice.
He made a lot of money off of it. I did.
Okay, I got 11 o'clock. Mike, floor's all yours.
All right. Well, thank you for having me in today. I'll get to it because I know you guys have a pretty busy schedule like everybody else. So obviously, you folks know the landscape of the Bridge Street and all the construction issues throughout Chillicothe. Probably as good as anybody in this room. And as David and I have talked about, the sales tax concern is a great concern for you folks. So every month, if the consumers avoid the bridge, the main business corridors, Ross County is going to feel it as a whole. Sales tax revenue, which is one of the largest and most consistent sources of funding that the county depends upon to deliver services and meet its obligations, is obviously directly tied to that consumer activity. And so when we talk about Bridge Street and downtown and Western Avenue and High Street, all those places, when those corridors go quiet, the impact doesn't just stay on High Street. It doesn't stay on Western Avenue. It moves up the chain and eventually lands here. And that's not a complaint because that's just the way life is, but it is a shared problem and the reason why I've come here today. So the Chamber of Commerce has developed Chillicothe Resilient, which is a coordinated community-wide business initiative anchored by a public campaign called Bridge the Gap. The goal is pretty much straightforward: try to drive consumers back to Chillicothe's business corridors, stabilize revenues for the affected businesses, and then rebuild the consumer habits that generate the economic activity that the county runs on. And so I think this is what, from our perspective, what this initiative directly protects for you. One, of course, is sales tax revenue. Every dollar spent at a participating business in an affected corridor contributes to the county's tax base. And our campaign, through rotating district events, coordinated digital strategy, weekly business spotlights, and other digital tools, is specifically designed to move customer traffic back into the corridors at a scale that we can sustain. We're not asking people to feel sorry for local businesses. We're giving them compelling, reoccurring reasons to show up. Second is employment stability. Businesses are already reducing staff to reflect the lower volumes that they're seeing. And those businesses will be slower to rehire when construction ends and slower to grow their payroll. Workforce participation and consumer spending are connected. We know that. When we stabilize the businesses through this disruption, we'll protect that employment base that drives spending throughout the county. The third is a long-term tax-based preservation. A business that closes during construction and does not reopen, they won't be open when the last cone is pulled, the last barrel is moved away. And every permanent closure is a permanent reduction in the county's commercial tax base and a gap that is far more difficult and expensive to fill than it was to prevent. And return on investment in keeping businesses viable now is measured not just in months, but in years of sustained revenue. And then the fourth one is regional reputation and visitor economy. Tourism, as you know, is a growing opportunity for Ross County and one that this community has really worked very hard to develop. And the perception that Chillicothe is difficult to navigate or that its businesses are struggling is a reputational risk that extends way beyond any single construction timeline. The Chillicothe Resilient Identity is designed to counter that narrative directly and position the city and the county as a destination worth visiting and worth investing in. And so what we're asking the county to consider, and it's the same ask that we made of the city last week, the Chamber will lead the effort. We're committed to seeing it through. We're not here to ask the county to run this initiative, but you got plenty to do. We're here because we believe that the county's partnership and potentially resources can make the difference between a good outcome and a great one. So specifically, we ask that first you actively endorse and cross-promote the Bridge the Gap campaign through county communications and your partner networks. Expanding the reach costs nothing. It signals to the business community and the consumers that the county is unified behind this effort. Secondly, continuing to coordinate with ODOT District 9, as I know you always do on these sort of projects, to make sure that we have some balance between what goes on with these projects, and also ensure consistent, updated construction timelines that are available to the businesses first and also to the public as we talk about all these active corridors. Uncertainty is itself an economic drag, and reducing it has immeasurable value. And then third, and we raise this completely with full awareness that you guys have fiscal responsibilities, we ask you to explore whether targeted county investment in a business stabilization fund is a viable and appropriate use of available resources. This wouldn't be what we did during COVID, where basically we had money that trickled down from the feds and the state, and we handed out $10,000 checks, to businesses that apply. This would be very targeted and very specific. We already have partners with ECDI and SBA and OVRDC to provide loans up to certain amounts. ECDI's is $15,000 at 2% interest. There's a revolving loan fund through OVRDC that provides some similar type monies, but there may be necessity for us to reach beyond that to help a business out. They may need $20,000 or $25,000, and so we want to be able to educatedly be able to offer that to them if they really truly need it, and we would have folks from our team and others that would vet that process. And so hopefully that would help us extend that capital that they potentially need to help get them through this period. We think it's a modest investment to keep businesses solvent through the period, and it protects their revenues, your revenue stream, which is sales tax, that returns multiples of that investment to the county every single year. Other counties and municipalities that have faced similar disruption have made this calculation and found it sound, and we believe that Ross County can do the same. We're not prescribing a number or even a full structure for this today, because we're still developing a lot of this stuff ourselves, but we're asking for the conversation, and we're ready to bring the partners and the data and the framework to you to help make that productive. And so finally, I'll just say that the Chamber's role is to connect and invest our investors and partners with resources that enable them to drive growth and change in the community. And that's exactly what Chillicothe Resilient is designed to do. It is not tied to a construction timeline because we believe it will go beyond that. Even after construction is done, whatever challenges come next, we feel like Chillicothe Resilient will be in a position to help with those. But the strongest version of this effort has the county at the table as well, not as a bystander, but as a partner with some skin in the game. Because when Chillicothe's businesses thrive, Ross County thrives, and that has always been true. And it is especially true right now. So I thank you for your time and your consideration, and if there are any questions, I'm happy to answer.
Mike, thanks, first of all, for getting us together. This is good stuff, and as I've mentioned several times in writing to you, we're 100% behind this.
I appreciate it.
I think that, budget time's coming up, and we do our preliminary budgets in June for July submittal, and it'd be good to know what that number is, if we can by that time. Then we can make a decision on whether we can afford to play or not. Also, we have worked it into our comprehensive plan that appropriate routing of construction areas is included in the thoroughfare plan. So we will know where traffic is supposed to go in the future to avoid this kind of thing. I think the collision of multiple projects is something that's always had to keep an eye on. So we don't do that like it is now. We've got so much going on. ACGP does not help that.
Yeah.
We have 154 million piling into communities right now. We just signed $6 million this morning, all grant money for expenses. So it's good stuff, but it causes a mess in the process.
Yep.
And we know that. So,
Yeah, I mean, just to let you know, we are seeing some semblance of things resuming. I'm getting more and more reports from Bridge Street in particular where people are saying we're starting to see people come by. I had to go to a graduation party at Christopher Conference Center last night and drove by Bob Evans, which 3 times that I've driven by it, it's been absolutely empty. Parking lot was 8-9 cars, both when I went and then I kind of tried to take a look when we were going somewhere else later, and it looked like it was about that same as well. That's still not enough to sustain, but that does show that it's getting a little bit better.
and that's probably worst case scenario in that whole mess out there because you've got to go east to go west.
Yep.
And people don't know that. They don't.
Yeah.
They don't connect that.
Well, you know, I mean, I made this point with some friends of mine the other day. Like, in essence, other than Matt Bruning, I probably know more about this project and the ways to get around it than anybody else. But for whatever reason, I never even considered the fact that if you take, if you go under the overpass and come back around, you can literally go back to downtown. I didn't even use it until last week was the first time, and I'd driven all the way on around 35 to East Main several times.
Yeah.
And so, like, I get it if people don't understand all the ins and outs of it, but obviously there's an opportunity for us to help educate folks. And, in all honesty, try to relieve the pressure on some of these other routes like Narrows Road, which I know you guys are very acutely aware of, because, I've heard all kinds of stories about full tractor trailers going down there. And
It's getting beat up pretty bad.
and it was rough to begin with. It's getting beat up more. Plus, just for safety's consideration, it's just not a road that we should have tractor trailers going on, right? So, I think we've got a pretty good idea of how we can help get people there. We've got some events that we're going to plan. Some fun family events that will hopefully get people down there and see it's not that difficult to navigate. And then you feel comfortable again coming to, get something to eat or shop or get your groceries or, it's starting to be lawn and garden time. So obviously that's important as well.
I think this could be a whole lot worse if it wasn't for the few weeks that we had 3 northbound lanes on Bridge Street and people see what's coming.
Yeah.
I think that kind of threw a bucket of water on some of the anger issues.
Yeah.
But still, a problem. And I think that just showing people that we're concerned and we're working together and, trying to help through this process and then better still trying to prevent it from happening in the future is a good step forward. So we appreciate you.
Yeah, I mean, you know how it goes, and you can tell everybody something's coming, and the mind wanders depending on what's going on. We all have busy lives, and so the call to action now is to get the traffic back to these corridors and help these businesses get back on their feet a little bit.
When I went to your roundtable a couple weeks ago, I thought it was really productive. It was good to hear the concerns of the business owners firsthand. I like to see that there's the plan coming together, and I think you did a great job putting together the initiative. I think the message is people need to get out on Bridge Street. It's not that bad.
Yeah.
I pulled Sarah in because she runs our social media stuff, and I don't think that we have any problem at all with cross collaborating, sharing I mean, absent our, you know, even if we weren't involved in this as an initiative, which I think, you know, from an endorsement and a partner standpoint, we're there. Even if we weren't, this is, our constituents need to know what's going on.
Yep.
And it's a service for us to provide that information. And it's even better that you're promoting the information that ODOT is creating and creating your own campaign. I think we're on board with that. I agree with Jack. There's more conversation to be had around, you know, financial engagement here. And I think that's what you acknowledged is
Yeah.
we're not, we want to have that conversation. I think we can't have that conversation.
Yeah.
But I just want to applaud the efforts that you guys are putting together here. We want to be part of it. Sarah, we can give her a copy of this, or, you know, however you want us to engage there. I don't
Yeah.
think there's a problem at all.
Yeah, and we can meet as well and have a conversation, you know, because we're actually developing our social media plan right now. We've got the first month kind of mapped out, but obviously it would be good to share that with all our partners, so that way they kind of know what's coming and when. So,
We'll certainly share it on our personal pages and all that too.
I appreciate that,
Yeah.
thank you. All right.
And I think that a lot of people just, I mean, it was a shock to everybody when they found out. You know, that's like, you know, that first day it was closed. I come down High Street and I'm backed up in, you know, come to a commissioners meeting, you know, 9 o'clock in the morning, at 8:30 in the morning, and traffic's backed all the way to 35 on High Street.
Yeah.
So I called in there and told them, saying, I think I'm gonna be a little late for a 9 o'clock meeting because traffic's back.
Yeah.
I think now everybody's getting to that, you know, it's one of these things where 20 years, I've been going this way for 20 years.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it's changed.
Yep. Yeah,
And
I
I think
agree.
that people's getting the hang of it now. Like you said, I went by Bob Evans on Bridge Street and there was no cars in the parking lot.
Yeah.
And then you go by there, I was by there this weekend and there was probably 10 cars in the parking lot, which is, but helped Western Avenue out because now they're packed everywhere on Western Avenue.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I told a couple people that when I really started to really understand this, the depth of this, is I went to Walmart 2 days in a row, on a Tuesday and a Wednesday. And my daughter was with me both times, and she goes, "Dad, are they closed?" And I was like, "Well, it kind of feels that way because the parking lot's not full." And that's when I kind of said, "All right, we gotta kind of get behind something here." So, and you know, all of that feeds into, you know, if you see that, if you go there once and see that, you think, boy, how do we really help out? And the way to help out is to continue to shop, continue to do the things that you can do. And I get it, gas is $5 a gallon. You know, taking longer routes is tough, but it is pretty important for us to keep our businesses moving forward for years to come. So.
It's concerning when you hear 20 to 30% down across almost every one of those businesses. Some of them being even greater percentage.
Yeah.
But I think the average that I heard was we're down in revenue, we're down in sales, we're down in traffic, 20 to 30%. And that's going to be significant when you stretch it out across from now to Thanksgiving and then again next year.
Yeah.
So I think you hit the nail on the head with a lot of.
Yeah, for sure.
I read last week that the wine signed an executive order that prevents people from cruising now. You have to have a to and from destination. If you get pulled over, bridge the gap, baby.
Yeah,
That's what we're doing.
Yeah, just focus your attention on the areas affected by our.
We need T-shirts, we need badges, we need all that stuff.
Well, I thank you for your support, and we will definitely have, you know, a better number in mind if we get to that point. I think part of it too is because we knew the budget process is coming up for you. We also engaged the city. They have a process that we're going to work through. We also wanted to gauge, like, are we offering something that somebody doesn't want?
And are you doing
Yeah.
you said you've got the SBA loans, revolving loans. Is that, are you envisioning that the request for the city and the county be supplementing that or some other?
Yeah, this would be, there's caps to both the ECDI and the OVRDC alone. So if there would be need or necessity to go beyond that, that's what we would be looking for.
Okay. Well, we can probably have a work session sometime and just get on the same page around. First, I think we've got to figure out the budget.
Yeah.
But then the next thing will be.
Well, in a perfect world, what I would be able to do is to figure out what those needs would look like, have specific businesses tied to them, and then come to you and say, here's how much we need that's going to cover this. Because I'm, I know that we're going to need something down the road, so maybe we have to put a little bit more money into it just to kind of help find the ones that weren't struggling and then all of a sudden were for whatever reason. Because also the traffic pattern's going to change when we're halfway through this project. So, if that's the case, then we've got to have some contingencies in place there too. So.
Would you envision SBA or OVRDC administering our funding, or would you?
I think we would probably handle it through ours since we did the COVID funds. We kind of figured out a nice little process there that had multiple different entities involved in it. And from that point, I think, what we did was any COVID funds that we didn't distribute, we returned to the county and the city. And so we would do the same, I think, in this case as well.
Good.
Any other comments, questions?
Thanks for leading us.
Thank you very much for taking that step forward.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate your work. Thank you very much, and thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mike.
Appreciate it, Mike.
20 minutes, pretty good.
20 minutes? Oh, my goodness. I've never, I had only supposed to speak 5 minutes at the city, so I guess I went way over this time. Thanks, y'all.
Thank
See
you.
ya.
See you.
Are we done?
I'll make a motion that we adjourn for today.
Just about to do that, so I'll say. How's it going?
Favor say aye.
Aye.